What's up, everybody? Welcome to the newest edition of Everyday's Draft Day. I'm your host, Eagle Dan FF. Joining me, as always, Steffi just Smalls today. Smalls, what's up, Smalls?
I had a little bit of a office malfunction, so I'm kind of in rare form. But you were very chipper, so I feel I'm in a better mood now.
Oh, good. As long as you're in a better mood, that's what makes me happy. That's literally it. So today, obviously, it's Combine Week. Hooray!
Finally.
Combine Week. Finally. Yes,
Right.
the main event before free agency and the draft. So off-season is in full swing. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, a couple of newsworthy items came out in the last couple of days. To start with, the Colts seem to be getting rid of Carson Wentz. No one saw that coming. Shocker. So, Steph, if they do get rid of Wentz, one, who should take his place? And
well,
two,
first things first, I'm going to victory lap. And then I will do that.
Okay.
But I don't know if you heard Frankie's comment about him. He tried in the nicest way to beat around the bush. Carson Wentz is not starting there next year. It actually wasn't painful. It was a very sweet way. I imagine that he probably was very kind when he broke up with his girlfriends in high school. He did a good job beating around the bush to an extent, but very much saying this is a business. We need to evaluate every position. I actually walked out of my bathroom because I thought at first it was Dan Campbell talking about Goff. I had the music on, and I walked in and I was like, "Oh, that's not the situation we're talking about." But is that super shocking? I don't know. I felt like this was Carson's it felt like a prove it place for him a little bit. You would know better as an Eagles fan, but I don't know that he goes to a bench, but does he go to a bench?
I guess at this point, probably. I mean, I don't see, unless you see one of the quarterback needy teams strike out this offseason, then maybe they go back to him as a last gasp.
Hard though. You had a lot over there in Indy, right? Everything you needed. This is what I said before this happened. There's going to be no more excuses for you, Wentz, and there is no more. So why would someone pay you and take the chance on you to be their QB1 if you've proven now on a team that's fully loaded with everything you could possibly want, and you still struggle? So unfortunately, I think this is more of a Wentz problem than anyone else's problem.
No, you're definitely right. It's definitely a Wentz problem. Everyone was talking about how he had, his best seasons when Reich was in Philly and everything, and it was going to be a perfect marriage, and he was going to go back to the system that gave him that 2017 season when he was almost MVP before he got hurt. And he had Jonathan Taylor, who was literally the best running back in the league, and bona fide wide receiver and one of the best offensive lines, and he still couldn't get it done. Not to say I told everyone so, but I told everyone so.
Absolutely. Who goes to Indy now?
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because, like you said, that situation is probably the best one now, I think, out of all the teams that need a quarterback. I mean, you still have everything that Wentz had. It's still there. And they're probably going to add another receiver. So the offense is probably going to be even better. I mean, Reich is still a good coach. I mean, if I was can you imagine Indy with Rodgers? That'd be crazy.
Right.
They'd be Super Bowl contenders instantly. I just don't know. I don't know if they'll give up what's necessary to get one of those the Wilson or Rodgers or something like that. I don't think so either.
They'll probably have to get a gap bridge guy for now. I don't think that don't feel like this system that's going to go and take one of these quarterbacks. They might be one of those teams. I bet the Giants will do this too. 4th, 5th round, throw a dart at one of these guys. Because I personally believe that this is going to end up being one of those years where we just get a random gem in the late rounds that ends up being a stud for years to come. But it's kind of a crapshoot at this point. So they might take a dart throw, but no one you're getting is going to be ready to start in that offense tomorrow. So they're going to have to find a nice Band-Aid to find a way to. That's such a shame. I actually am starting to feel. I feel for Colts fans. I can imagine it's hard to be right there for these past couple of years, and then to try to believe in Wentz, and then for Wentz to won't. Which, I mean, I did tell you so. So.
Yeah. Yes, we both said we told you so. Someone that might be like a good dark horse on it, I'm thinking about it, is Jameis Winston.
That's interesting. Marcus Mariota, I feel like for
Well,
some
that was
reason,
my second guy.
my Marcus Mariota like senses are tingling a little bit this year. I really think somehow, some way, this guy might actually get a shot again somewhere. I really feel strongly that because even like if you go and take one of these younger guys, they're not necessarily ready to be starting right away. So I think someone might end up throwing a dart right at Marcus Mariota.
If Marcus Mariota goes to the Colts,
what if you pair him, or what if the Colts go get Trubisky?
I could see that. I think Trubisky in a dome with that kind of like talent and coaching. I mean, both of them are really high picks that like just didn't pan out. So it'd be interesting to see what Wright can pull from either of them if they sign. But those are guys that like those are the type of guys that they should go for that aren't like free, obviously, but they not going to cost picks or like a huge contract to see what they have. But I mean, they're definitely in a win now mode.
Oh, another one too is I guess Watson. I didn't even think of. That's an interesting.
Yeah, but the Texans are going to trade him in division. That's never going to happen.
That's true. I'm thinking outside the box though for like other teams.
If
I'm over the Colts. I'm way past that. Now I'm in La La Land.
All right, next topic. That's the cue. All right.
No.
La La Land. All right. So, other news: the Giants, that's your team, are open to the possibility of trading Saquon Barkley. Sad face. So, what would be an acceptable return for Barkley, and where would he? What's a good situation for him to go to?
So I don't, as much as like, I think it is a good idea. I don't think that the value is going to be there for him, and I don't think you're going to get someone to pay his salary to him. Like someone needs to pick that up and be able to pay. It doesn't seem like it's happening. The time to do it was last year. You screwed up. He didn't have a good season. You're stuck with him, I think, another year. And then maybe you can offload him after that. But, there's a ton of teams that would love to have him. The Bills, the Dolphins. Someone said Kansas City the other day. I think it's a little dramatic. But
I would love that, actually.
I mean, he definitely could use the change of scenery. But then you could argue that all those guys could use a change of scenery too. Like they've had an inept offense for years now. So they all could use a change of scenery. And who knows, maybe Saquon, I can imagine it's very hard to play on that team and like try to give it your all, especially coming off of an injury. I don't imagine that they move him. I mean, I would be okay with it. That's why I hung my Saquon Penn State jersey, and I have not hung my Saquon Giants jersey yet because I'm okay with it. I'm still going to root for him. He's one of my favorite college football players ever. So I want him to succeed, but it seems like, I don't want to get optimistic. I did this shit last year. I'm not doing it again. They're in I don't want to say a forward direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think I don't see, it's a tough position because they're kind of like in the in-between thing where like he's probably one of your best pieces on offense, but by the time you guys get like good enough to win, like he'll be pretty run down. So, but like what would you accept for him in a trade? Like, would you take like a fourth or a fifth? Because I don't think it's only $7 million. I mean, he's only his cap hit.
Yeah, he's not worth. No, I know.
It's not like crazy.
But it would be. I think that's asking kind of a lot for a team to take on a guy that barely didn't play a lot this year, coming off of an ACL injury.
No, I mean that is a good point there.
What if he's the next Todd Gurley? We don't know. He could be.
That's true.
And I hate that. I hate that. But again, we're moving into this era where like don't pay running backs. Like Zeke Elliott, like that was the dumbest shit that ever happened. Like that should have not happened. You don't pay running backs like that. And you even saw on the Giants, Booker comes in, and you don't necessarily need to do that. James Conner, another great example. Like there's ways to move around. I don't think we're going to see running backs going high in drafts ever again. I think it's like a total change in the running back error. But I think a fourth or fifth, that's like, I would take a fifth for Ingram. So it's hard. Like, and I value Barkley more. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard to like, I guess fantasy might like get in my head, which is crap because I don't know if I've tried to get Saquon in a bunch of my dynasty leagues, and people want like 2 firsts and McLaurin. I'm like, you guys can kiss my butt. Like this, you talk so much crap about him, and then I go and you add a homer tax, which I think is bullshit.
That's what the homer tax is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, what would you take for Saquon?
If I were the Giants, I would take I would take a fifth. I think that
I actually would take a fifth in this draft, but I would want probably a player. I want some depth as well. Like if I could get like another, I don't know, a tackle or guard or something that you could throw as some depth with a fifth, I would maybe consider it, which is crazy because he's going to end up going somewhere and do very well. So it sounded like as much as, you know, and everyone likes to overreact and listen to like small parts, they were just saying that they're going to be open to it. They were open to it last year. Like, this is not a new thing. They're open to it with everyone. This is a normal routine thing. I mean, especially with them starting to try to clear house. So I don't know if they move him.
I don't know either. I mean, it's just interesting, like the timing with free agency, like coming up soon, in 2 weeks. And like you said, like last year was the same thing. I just think like maybe they learn their lesson. The fact that they have like a new GM, a new coach, like what do they say? Do they think like it's not worth like his salary? And you said like they're clearing the deck pretty much everybody and starting over. So you know, I just think that Saquon, if he stays healthy, is worth more to someone else than he is the Giants right now.
100%. And I don't disagree with that at all. Like I'm not like, I think these past 2 years have really humbled me as a Giants fan. Like I am very well aware of how crappy my team is. And I want players to do well. And I love Saquon. So I want that for him. It would be so fun to be able to watch him do well. It sucks. And you can see how guys like him, Jones, even Shepard, like those guys are frustrated because they've been on the team longer than everyone else. Like, and it's annoying to have to do with that and deal with the same crap over and over again. So I hope for him that it would be, I can't even say it. I can't get the words out because I don't want to see him go, but I would be happy for him.
You know, it'd be a good place. I think that might be a fun place for him to go is Arizona.
I was thinking that.
I read your mind, but especially with both Edmonds and Connor being free agents.
And they said today they can't keep both of them, but they like what Benjamin's been doing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Quick shout out.
Who knows what's going on over there? Speaking of news.
Yeah, right. With Kyler Murray being like, oh, I need a contract, so I'm just going to throw a fit. All right, dude. Well, we didn't win anything yet. So.
You know what the craziest thing is, though? As much as everyone wants to chatter, like he's gonna get paid. So whether the Cardinals pay him or another team pays him, like he's going to win. That was the brattiest thing you could have possibly done. And I'm a huge Kyler fan. I have supported Kyler like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You showed no humility. You took no responsibility for it being partially your. He didn't look good, like period. Like you did not have your best season. Don't act like it's all on you. And you're not Matt Stafford on the Lions, bro. Like it's not the situation that's going on. So, but at the end of the day, he's going to get paid. That's what's going to happen because you can't, who else are you going to take in Arizona over? You're going to get rid of Kyler Murray. Give me a break. That's not happening.
No. Yeah, you don't get rid of 24-year-old franchise QBs. Someone's paying him if you don't. Absolutely, 100%. Like they have to figure out, how to keep him and keep him happy because there is no plan B for losing Kyler Murray. There just isn't.
I think they need a culture fix over there, kind of. Like I know we don't. That's not something we talk about a lot, but it's like it feels everything is just disarray over there. I feel like there's no mesh. Like I don't know. I'm sure Arizona fans would. I don't feel as much of a franchise feel as I do with other places. I don't know. So something's got to break over there.
Absolutely, 100%. A quick shout out though to And someone I feel bad for, even though I hate the team, is Sterling Shepard. The dude like, gives everything to the Giants. He's always get hurt, tries to come back, and then oh, we just don't want you anymore.
I'm not even kidding you though.
Huh?
Watch him take the cheapest deal you've ever seen on a wide receiver to stay on the New York Giants. I would bet money right now that Sterling Shepard returns to the New York Giants on a poop deal.
We're gonna bet. We're gonna bet. That's gonna be a bet.
Okay. What do you want to bet? A muffin?
I don't know. Yes, we'll bet muffins. The 6-pack of muffins.
If Slayton returns though, then we have a problem.
Yeah, Slayton is not really worth anything. Sorry, Slayton.
Who do you guys have moving? I feel like I haven't even peeked into free agency since combine started.
No one important really.
Your team's geriatric, that's why.
It really is. Like they're just like they have no one that is worth. I mean, Derek Barnett, I guess.
Yeah.
A couple of players in the secondary. I mean, Jordan Howard, Boston Scott. Like we don't like. There's no one like majorly. Like Barnett is literally like the most important guy. The rest are just like they're just Jags that we could sign anybody and replace with. So it's really like boring. There's no one really important that we can get rid of, even though we're really old. But hopefully we'll fix that in this draft. So we'll see.
Well, you're in a great place. Like I keep doing these mock drafts, and like between you guys, honestly, the Giants there's a lot of value once you get past halfway through the second round. That's crazy. You almost feel like the draft like restarts at that point because the value is so awesome. Like first, I was so gun ho on the Giants. Like you have to take O-line. You have to take O-line. I haven't taken an O-line with either pick, and every time I mock draft now.
Absolutely.
Because you don't need to.
No, you don't. And I find out me doing the same thing with linebackers and defensive line for the Eagles. Like I tried taking him in the first round because I really like Nakobe Dean, and then like you have like Chad Muma that's in there in the second round. Like, why am I even bothering doing this in the first round? I could just take like a cornerback or Burks or someone like that. When you know it's like, and I know everyone's been like crapping on this draft, even fantasy wise, but it's looking into it. It's a really deep draft.
It really is, and the difference is it's such a heavy like O-line and defensive class that these guys are going to fall so far. Like even when over and over again, the wide receivers that are falling to like the Vikings in like the 4th and 5th round of my drafts is crazy because there's so many guys, and I don't know when a wide receiver even goes first. It might be one of your guys' pick is what I'm guessing. Might be somewhere around there, but it's not going to be necessarily as early. And I don't know. We might see a running back maybe towards the end, but I don't know that we see a ton of running backs.
I don't think we're seeing a running back in the first round. Honestly, I don't see it.
Interesting. We should check out when those numbers come out because it's always like half a running back, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, right. It's like 0.5. Yeah. I don't see like even like Spiller and Hall. Like I just don't see them being like that generational talent enough to warrant a first round pick. Like I don't see it.
I don't think any of the running backs really necessarily warrant a first round pick. It's crazy though because you'll see guys like our guy from the Senior Bowl that we love, who I'm very, very excited to see, and I think he's probably going to pick up steam. So I'm trying to get into I need to get into like some dynasty startups that have the rookies in them so I can make sure I get my hands on. But Dameon Pierce, like I'm doing these mocks. Another one, the other guy, tight end Greg Dulcich, falling to the 7th round, like in all of these. Like there's a lot of valuable fantasy talent that's going to fall in these drafts.
And it's funny because everyone's going to crap on them because they don't have draft capital. So it's going to be value for everyone.
Right.
In rookie drafts because they're going to hate them and they're going to give them away and they're going to perform. Like I admit I was wrong. Like I didn't think much of this class a couple of months ago. I thought, it wasn't going to be great, but like seeing it and going to the Senior Bowl and seeing these guys, like their guys are going to be legit fantasy producers that are going to go in like the 4th and 5th round in this draft.
Yeah, it's going to be very different than years past, I think, especially from last year because we saw, when Devontae Smith went and it started getting wild with wide receivers. Like it just started going all over the place. And I don't think we're going to see it get that hectic as early as we saw. But there's still a lot of guys. Sky Moore is going to be a guy that falls a little bit, and he is definitely someone that at least I'm looking out for in the combine too. Like there's so many guys. I was going through it last night. I told you I could barely sleep because I was finally like really diving into it. And it's like, holy crap, there's so many guys that can be NFL starters tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. And not even like all the guys from the Senior Bowl, and then you're not even talking about like Wilson and the other guy from Ohio State. What's his name?
Oh,
I don't remember. The other receiver for Ohio State. Whatever.
Olave,
yeah, him. Yeah, those guys we haven't even talked about when we're talking about the Senior Bowl. You have all of them too. Yeah, like Tolbert and Austin and Watson, and it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Crazy.
Austin's gonna run like a sub 4.4 and shoot up draft boards.
Even like Tolbert, Turner. Like I wonder, is Turner going to be at the combine tomorrow?
Yeah.
Or 2 days, whenever their day is.
Yeah. He got an invite. I think he is.
I'll be interested to see what he weighs in on. There's a couple wide receivers that I definitely want to see what they end up weighing in. Honestly, you know who I can't wait to see? I want to see these quarterbacks weigh in because just like we said, they did not look big when we saw them down there. And even as I watch film, like they don't look as big. I feel like last year, I don't remember them they look so small. They need meatballs.
Meatballs.
They need to eat.
They do. Someone give these people some pasta.
Jeez. Yeah.
So the one guy I'm like for the receivers I really wanted to see how he runs is Christian Watson. I think if he runs as fast as a lot of people, if he runs like a 4.37 or something, like he's not going to go like in the 5th round. He's going to go in like the 2nd, 3rd round, just because he's every measurable like dream as a receiver. So just because, he didn't face the toughest competition and everything, people are going to knock him for that. But if he performs well, I see him like shooting up everyone's draft boards, both in fantasy and in the actual draft.
Yeah, that's a good one too. You know who else? I know this one's a little bit, I know he's getting a lot of attention, but Breece Hall, I'm a little interested to see what he runs because his speed, he lacks a little bit of speed there on the end, I think. So I'm interested to see what he looks like. I haven't got my eyes on him, I guess, enough, but I can't tell if I love him or I hate him. He feels like he's going to turn into this like really great handcuff. Like he's going to be in a committee type backfield, and that's going to be his role.
It's such an interesting case with Hall because like before like this process, he was like the number one guy. Like all of last year, he was the number one guy coming out and this and that. Now he's just like, it's Breece Hall. It's like,
you know who he reminds me of a little bit? It's very like Josh Jacobs-y.
Yeah, exactly. That's the perfect.
It's like very Josh Jacobs-y. As he was one of the guys I was watching a lot last night, and like he's very mechanical, like, but I don't know what it is. He's just like that third. He's just like the third down back, and that's okay. That's just gonna be his role, I think.
So interesting to see.
But he was everyone's like RB1, but I don't know that he's gonna go into a system and have the production that everyone really wants.
Yeah, I don't. And it also depends on. It really depends on where he gets drafted too, because like you said, if he gets drafted to committee, then he'll probably be in that handcuff role. So we'll see. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Every Day is Draft Day. We're going to be here all week at Champions Run with about 1,700,000 different pieces of content on the senior.
We're going to record another episode when we get off this, talking about all the quarterbacks. Well, not all of them. We're not talking about all of them, but we're talking about like 5 or 6 of them.
5 or 6 of them.
They're on their own.
We're going to go through all the positions throughout the week. We're going to have some Twitter spaces, TikToks. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So she's Steffi Smalls. I'm Dan Turner. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day.